Feast offers the latest IT market insight and data, combined with exclusive access to world-class IT talent from Eastern Europe. In this video podcast, East's new Chief Commercial Officer, Dinko Kortzanov, together with our CEO, Timo Railo, discuss the drivers and changing market dynamics that led us to create Feast.
Hey Timo, good to see you. How are you?
Likewise, thank you. It's Friday today, so everything's very good.
It is Friday, and me and you are gonna have a short video talking sessions, aka podcast, aka the fancy thing that IT and digital experts do in Spotify. Let's start off immediately with the first one. So, well, I know this very well, but for the viewers, can you give us a sneak peek into an intro into what East does, and what are we going to actually be talking about today?
Sure. East helped find talent from Eastern Europe. So our clients are mostly Nordic companies, and they look for individual experts and teams, IT, data, UX, UI, basically everything that you need to fulfill digital service delivery or product development. And we do this by connecting companies. So we're not a hiring company. We work together with local partner companies. So we represent partner companies from Eastern Europe, several hundred of them, and the talent is coming from them.
That sounds really interesting. And if I might add, since of course I know a bit more since East was my first employer, East has been operating for over 15 years. Out of these 15 years, I think you have lived personally in Bulgaria for about 10. So it is quite a rarity to find in the Nordic market a company that is offering nearshoring solutions that is actually so well experienced and equipped with market knowledge of the place they're offering the nearshoring talent from.
I would like to believe so. I mean, we came here 17 years ago, not actually with the idea on getting cheapest possible technical work. We were hunting for talents. It was very difficult for a small company to hire in Finland those days, and we kind of ended up here a little bit by accident. But operating here, I've always loved working with my Bulgarian and Romanian colleagues. Work moral is very high, technical expertise top notch, and obviously being in the business that we are, connecting companies, we have close ties spanning for over 10 years. Some of the companies that we work with, we've seen grow from 5 people to 200 people or even more. So it's been an honor to be part of this great ecosystem here.
For the viewers also, this is coming straight from the bottom of my heart. Timo has always been the go-to. Even though I'm Bulgarian myself, I've always turned to Timo when I've needed insights about the market in Bulgaria, about the digital scene, whether it's about marketing technologies, whether it's about IT or software. And really the knowledge that Timo and the team has about the market is amazing. But going from one topic to another. So, Timo, you mentioned that kind of the main business that East is doing is providing this sort of talent to Nordic companies. I mean, who are your main clients? Who are the main users? Are they end-to-end clients, or are we talking also about a Finnish IT agency?
We work directly with end clients, so we have enterprise clients, some scale-ups, so more mature product or SaaS companies, and then we work in close collaboration with quite a few IT companies. So these are our companies that provide software development services or staff augmentation, and nobody has all the skills, so they often turn to us, and we help them either put together teams or find individual experts. But then, of course, we service also the partner companies here locally. This is about connecting. This is about finding win-win situations. So we have kind of a two sides that we try to service and make understand each other.
And one of the things kind of we've talked a lot with you, but now since we're filming it, we're going to kind of make it more official, is the IT industry has changed a lot in the last year, maybe even in the last 6 months. How do you view the current IT environment? Because it is not a secret. I mean, you just have to open up any news media and you see that, either IT companies are doing very bad or then they're doing very good. But the truth is there is a turbulence which has not been seen before. How do you view the market, and what is the situation?
I've been on the market for a very long time myself, so it's not a first turbulence in the IT market that I'm seeing. I do realize for people who have been on the market for less than 10 years, they haven't actually experienced it firsthand. This industry has a little funny tendency to switch between sales problem and supply problem, because normally you have industries that have either a sales problem or a supply problem. If you sell home cleaning, you have a supply problem. If you're selling paper, you have a sales problem. IT industry keeps alternating between the two. And 2022 was craziest that I've ever seen IT industry being. And mind you, I was there when the dot-com boom happened. Demand was through the roof. This also brought a lot of kind of side consequences, things that were not really making the industry more healthy. So the current situation, I see it as bringing not just stress and distress to companies and people, but also it is in a way a healthy reset. I think the need for digitalization hasn't gone anywhere, but especially in the Nordics, companies are very cautious. When the interest rates went up, everyone started looking at, okay, is now the right time to make the investment, or should we hold off? And obviously a lot of the IT development is forward looking, so it was quite easy to put brakes on and say, okay, let's hold with this for a little while. So in the current market situation, a lot of the fundamentals are same, but there are also things that have changed, and companies need to look at what they're doing and make sure that they are adding enough value. Sorry, that was a bit of a long rant.
No, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. All right. Yeah, I mean, like we discussed, the market, the IT market has faced turbulences. You've seen them. I actually don't remember all of them, even though I've had 10 plus years.
You've been riding through a couple of those as well.
Yeah. But one thing I really like what you said was that this is a positive turbulence. This is a positive restart. And one of the things that you mentioned also is that it's this will cause to many people a lot of stress, but it seems that you and East have a very interesting service that might actually at least ease the pain for some of this stress through hardcore data. And what I wanted to kind of ask you now is, you've got two buddies next to you on the left. I see Mr. Beast and his little sister, his little sister Feast. If you open up about the little sister Feast, what is this all about?
Maybe I need to say 2 words about Big Brother as well. We're a small company, and the service that we provide is very personal. So we're very much hands-on when we find talents. But in order to power what we do, we developed already almost 2 years ago a system to handle the process more effectively. So our partners are very familiar with Beast. They use it to communicate with us. And Feast, as said, is a little sister. I'm not sure, she's a bit of a temperamental one, so I'm not promising that she will reduce your stress if you're an IT buyer or an IT company. But she will hopefully help you make more informed decisions, and if nothing else, to give a glimpse on what's going on the market. Feast is our new data hub service. We're not turning into a SaaS company. It's free for all. Anyone can can enter and start browsing the data. We wanted to pull together data, of course, data that's from our operations, because we do deal with quite large amount of data. For example, we keep track of over 1,200 technologies and where to find people who work with those technologies. So data is very much at the core of what we do. But we also started looking at, okay, in order to understand the IT market, I would claim that we have a pretty good view, because we talk to partners, we talk to clients, we talk to IT companies. But these are still echo chambers. So you always have a bit of a distorted view. So we started looking at, okay, where could we find actual hard data? It's not so easy. So we started putting it together, and we thought, okay, this could be useful for others as well. And like IT projects often do, it got a little out of hand. And now we're releasing Feast for everyone to use. We have a lot of data, all of it one way or another from public sources. So anyone could have this data, but it hasn't really been put together. So we're hoping it would be obvious whether you in the business selling or buying IT services.
On that note, I wanted to ask, why did you even consider developing Feast in the first place? As you said yourself, this is going to be a free service for all. You know, you're not going to charge people. It's not going to be a paid SaaS service. And at the same time, as you also said, this is clearly something that has been lacking in the industry. But why exactly did East decide to go forward and develop this? Because I also know that this is not a white label product that you just develop in overnight. This has taken significant amount
it did take
of development power.
several weeks. There are two answers to that question. The other one is of course that I'm a techie and I love building things. So as my business partner and wife Mari said, it probably should have been scoped a little smaller initially. But here we are. What's important for us is to kind of bring understanding on the market in the way of not looking at it as a supply chain. Because market is about people, it's about collaboration, companies, people work together. The old thinking that, okay, we buy IT development and all the people are coming from this one company, it's kind of old-fashioned. It's not often possible anymore. So to bring these people together, you need to have something worthwhile for them to come and see. I don't think if we opened a discussion board, it would have been that interesting. And since we have the data and we're very much about sharing and being transparent, so if you're our clients, you know exactly where the work is coming from. We don't put smoke screens. So it very much communicates also our core values about openness and transparency and personal approach. Believe it or not, it's hard data, but we want that also to be personable. We want it to be approachable to you. Did that answer your question at all?
That answered my question. And I'm going to add one more. One of the things I love talking about these sort of things with you is that, and I know that this is sometimes overlooked, but you can't imagine how much I hear it in the industry. You now talked about the human element. You talked about the people and the human element. Unfortunately, our industry, the IT industry, is still so conservative that developers are not talked as, or not viewed as human. They're viewed as resources. They're viewed as assets.
Yeah. I hate that.
Yeah, and what you're basically now telling me is that you're actually going to try to bring out that these are actual people. Yes, they have some sort of technology at the back end. Yes, they have some sort of skills, but at the end of the day, these are humans that are doing this, and that's what you're basically bringing out with this data. You're bringing out the humans. So I think that this element is something that I hope to see more in the industry. Industries like marketing and customer experience and digitalism, they've been long preaching about the fact that you need to talk about, human centricity. But I think right now what you guys are doing is exactly going to kind of bring one step closer to.
Yeah, there I must say though, if I look at our operating environment here on the Balkans, what makes me very proud to be part of the Balkan IT industry is to see how companies here invest on culture, in upskilling people, training. They borrow their people to go and lecture. They collaborate very closely with educational institutions. So kind of the human aspect here is very, very close. Basically, if there's an IT company with over 50 people, they will almost for certain have some kind of program in place for training up juniors. Then I realized there's a bit of a mixed messages, because when you go to this new service of ours, Feast, there's a talent hub, so you can go and find talents, and there you see nameless, faceless lists of technologies. So yes, it is about numbers and the big picture, because finding the right technology combinations is difficult. But then when it comes to the actual, let's get it done, so let's find the exact right match, then it has to become personal. Because one of the things that we pride ourselves is that companies that we work with, both partners and clients, these are very long-term relationships, and people who come from here and work with the Nordic clients, they're often part of core service and product development. So it's very important that you find the right alignment, because it is about what client needs, but it is also about, if you're a developer, for example, where you going, what drives you, in what kind of environment you strive, how you want to develop professionally. And if we can connect these two, then you have a very long-lasting relationship where everybody's happy. And this is what we do. This is what we facilitate.
Like I said, it actually, seeing the service, what you just said reflects it. I would even say the mere fact that you are helping IT buyers find talent, not resources, that already the whole rhetorics on the word talent gives a whole new meaning. We've been talking a lot about kind of the different users that interact with East. So as you said, you have the clients, IT buyers, sometimes it might be even budget makers, sourcing directors,
yes,
the IT directors, what have you not. You're talking about your vendors, your partners, so to speak, the ones that actually have the developers that work for them, and then kind of then later on through East will work also for one of the end clients. You have, I would say, also people like me, your average Joe, who has a commercial or a sales, let's say, responsibility, not maybe the most IT specific person, maybe not the first person to buy IT talent, but somebody that will matchmake the client with the IT talent. What is the value for all of these users in using Feast? What will they get out of using Feast, and why should they even kind of open up their browser and look at the data?
Excellent question. First, of course, is to be informed. When you're making purchasing decisions, you want to be informed. When you're making technology selections, you want to understand, will it be difficult to find talent for this particular combination? Then understanding in general how difficult it is to find people, how much there is competition. So maybe you're launching a new data initiative and you just got the budget through, and you're going to be hiring a team of eight to build your new data infrastructure, data ops, and everything that's revolving around big data. And then your question is, okay, would I be able to find these people? If you write your first job description and it includes 10 technologies that are a must and 8 that would be nice to have, you're probably not going to find anyone that would meet your criteria. So we're hoping that people will be able to use Feast as also kind of a sanity check, because that's one of the reasons on having this find talent section, is that you can go and put your own tech stack, and just seeing what kind of talent you find will give you an idea on what's out there on the market. Because this is not, we don't employ developers, so we're not trying to push our developers. We're giving you an overview on what's available on the market at the moment.
And I can imagine that is so valuable information. I mean, we talk a lot about, let's say, in industrial companies, where if one of their machines, let's say a supply chain belt or a process belt, doesn't work for 10 minutes, the effect on losses is insane. We're talking about tens of thousands of euros. This can be considered the other way around with IT and digital projects. Every single minute you're trying to find experts to do your project or develop your project, you are initially losing money and losing momentum.
Yes.
So
then
having
let me continue a little bit more on the value. Everyone who's been hiring or contracting IT talent knows also the pain associated with it. Just like building IT, usually the recruitment doesn't happen as fast as you would like. You do a lot of interviews that are unnecessary, and that could have been avoided by having someone in the know supporting you in the process. And this is also one of the things that we bring with Feast. We bring a little bit more structure to this process by collecting the relevant information from the get-go, and making sure that rights partners will be offering talent and right kind of talent. Everybody's saving time, and if everybody's saving time, that's good for the clients as well. And then last, but definitely not least, is about as I said earlier, bringing people together. One of the views of the market is what market thinks of the market. I mean, this is no rocket science. It's just about collecting it in one place. So basically polling, we call it the market pulse. Is the hiring up? How are your plans for next year for AI? Are you going to be investing? Is it going to be a big investment? Answer, and you shall be answered. So we put together kind of constantly updating set of questions that will give you a view of the markets. And then market whispers, our little rumor mill. This is not an anonymous service where you can bash your competitors. It's all curated. It's coming either from East or it's coming from the participants of Feast, but it is curated. So it's not about bashing. It's about getting more data points, more touch points, more messages about what's happening on the market.
So it's almost like the IT industry's own little Yodel.
Yeah, maybe not so fast paced, but
and more professional, definitely. Now, we talked a lot about the clients, but what about also, I mean, I know that a very important part of the East environment is the vendors, the partner vendors, the IT agencies that you partner up with in the Balkans, whether they're in Romania, Bulgaria, Macedonia, where have you not. What's the value for them to be in Feast? And of course, not only just to kind of provide their talent in your portfolio, but what else?
Yes,
why should they be inside?
I mean, this the same data is relevant as much as it is for clients or companies dealing with IT in the Nordics. This is also relevant for companies here. We can facilitate all the IT business from the Balkans. So companies, our partner companies that are selling direct or approaching companies direct or trying to get a foothold on the market, we hope to give kind of realistic view on what's going on the market. Something about the players, something about the market conditions. Then obviously a big benefit for our partners is that we bring them business. We match these needs from our clients to expertise they have, whether it's about individual talent, teams, or end-to-end solutions. So this is about connecting the market. So we'd like to be the place you don't want to be left out from.
Please stay tuned for upcoming podcast episodes.